Greetings, everyone. It is I, Hellgear. Welcome back to Smurfs Epic Run. I've got the Black Smurf because of a very important thing. Got a new item in the Smurf shop centered around him. Link is in the description below, as always, to the Smurf shop. I hope you check it out. Show your love as always with likes, subs, bell, and even purchase it to the shop. That way, I can better entertain you guys. So, that being said, it's time to run, and it's time for me to talk about things. Now, many times, some of you have heard me talk about the Black Smurf. And someone asked me, okay, where does the Black Smurf come from? Okay, that's not too bad. I have to remember I have Star Killer out here. Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I gotta switch up equipment. As you guys know, I managed to get another legendary Smurf in the previous episode. So in any case, one of Peyo's works is called the Black Smurfs. Now, in this particular piece, and some of you already know this, but I'm going to explain it anyway. Wow, I almost cheated that. I almost cheated that. The Black Smurfs episode essentially revolved around, as Papa so told us, a sickness that wiped out a previous village. This sickness is something that I like to call the buzzfly sickness. And a happening that I like to call, I got a key. And a happening I like to call the buzzfly incident. What happens is one of the Smurfs gets bit by the buzzfly in the tail, which causes him to turn black, his eyes to turn red, and he goes, nap, 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 nap. And this spreads throughout villages. It's tainted Smurfs biting other Smurfs by the tail. And that's a message from my artist who I commissioned for some of my Smurfy merch. Good to know. We have a flying Smurf stage, so I gotta get the feather. Okay. And we're going to switch to, let's go with Hail Frost. Let's fly. Anyway, Papa Smurf couldn't figure out what the cure for this was because it had been so long. It was probably when he was a young Smurf, not yet leader. It must have been a different village, not the one that Grandpa Smurf ran. Then again, in the Smurfs anthology, they talk about these various different Smurfs village. I remember, give me that. I do remember that mentioning in one of the Smurfs anthologies, another village, and there's one particular Smurf was green, and then there was this other particular Smurf that had a really long tail. I wonder if we'll rescue that Smurf with the really long. Bam! That was beautiful. Really long tail in Mission Leaf. And I hope you guys have been paying attention to Mission Leaf. I showed off the newest trailer last week. That's not 250 coins, so I'm not going to get the star for that. Unfortunately, I'll have to come back. But we find out that it's tuberose pollen. And when you're exposed to tuberose pollen, you sneeze out the buzzfly syndrome, representing a cure. It is also said this is the lore how we got Grouchy Smurf. That Grouchy Smurf was cured from the buzzfly incident, but kept his bad move, which is why he's all, I hate this, and I hate that, and I hate, la 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 la. That sort of deal. Alright, let's go grab the hose. Now, Peo never intended this, but when this episode from the comic and when this comic hit Western audiences, there were issues revolving racism because, it's a black Smurf. So not to offend the African American audience, they changed the skin tone of purple. And they renamed the episode and the comic The Purple Smurfs. That's the little trooper happily screeching in the background. You can tell those happy baby sounds, man. You really can tell those happy baby sounds. Anyway, one of the things you've probably heard me talk about was, what if there's actually a good black Smurf? And this was something that Peo never touched in the comics. Either he thought it'd be too controversial, or he probably just never got the chance because of his death. But I often thought about something. And the thought was this, and I've been thinking about this for years, which is the whole purpose of me making this particular piece. Well, the conception of this particular piece, and having my good friend and Smurf artist commission the lines for this. I specifically did the colors. Oh, I got a silver medal that time. As you can tell, or if you probably can't, when they've been tainted by the black fly due to the incident, they turn black or purple, depending on the audience, and their eyes turn red. And I figured, after being exposed to tuberose pollen, he sneezes, his eyes return to normal. He's a regular old Smurf. The only problem is he doesn't turn back to his blue, ever blue, as Veronique mentioned in the forewording of the Lost Village art book. He never returned to his ever blue coloring. Now, of course, he is a good Smurf, but he isn't blue. There have been instances in real life where People have had some disorder or disease, and their skin color doesn't revert back to normal. Then again, we also have another skin pigmentation disease called vitiligo. Michael Jackson had it. His son Prince Jackson has it. And I believe one of my uncles has vitiligo. That's a very odd disorder or skin condition where you just lose the color of your skin pigmentation. Right? And I believe there was this artist on DeviantArt who created a Smurf character that has vitiligo. That is actually an albino Smurf that wears blue clothing. If you're a fan of DeviantArt and you're a deviant there, you probably know who she is. Anyway, in my mind, I always hope that in the old animated series, the one by Hanna-Barbera, Peyo would have an episode where, what's in the chest? We would have an episode where we have this incident pigmented Smurf trying to adjust to Smurf life, right? But the problem is he's having trouble. He's not blue anymore. And even though he isn't afflicted by the black fly, there are still instances where all of the Smurfs in the village kind of freak out and they hit him with the tube rose. But after a while, instead of freaking out over the tube rose issue, they just accept, oh, that's our friend, da 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 da. And we can tell this because his eyes are normal. And I have him like going through the Joneses about whether or not he's a Smurfy Smurf. I'm glad I managed to get through that without losing anything. I still have the red heart. I must have passed through the second object with the invincibility frames. And that works for me. You hear a little trooper and oh, that son of a that's some cold madness. Are you seeing that? The spring did wasted 25 jams. That's that bull. Bring everybody in. 6 Smurfs down the line. So the other blue normal Smurfs are giving our Buzzfly pigmented Smurf a rough time, and he's feeling blue about it. So he looks at himself in the mirror. And every time he looks at himself in the mirror, spin the wheel. I gotta go. Actually, I have to back out to do that. You hear that happy guy in the background. Anyway, here's the thing with our friend here. Every time he looks in the mirror shows him as a blue-skinned Smurf. Like no change to his pigment. It reminds me of that episode of Batman the Animated Series where Baby Doll is in the fun house and she looks at herself in the mirror. That was the quickest red fragment I've had in a while. And unfortunately, the bounces had me miss this Smurf. I'll get him the next time I run through the stage. Right, and he's thinking to himself, am I really this bad Smurf? Am I not Smurfy inside? And it's like, I'm Smurfy inside. I'm a Smurfy Smurf on the outside, but am I Smurfy inside? I'm glad I didn't lose that guy right there. Two out of three isn't bad. Granted, I can keep them both for the rest of the stage. I could have cheated that, but I wasn't going to. You know? And that's essentially my whole issue on the story. We never really got this episode. And part of me always wondered, why didn't we get this episode? You know, the Smurfs are known for doing all of these positive things. They promote change, positive change for the environment, towards women, even though they're kind of contradictory on gender equality. And I can actually say that because I've actually called them out on it. But nothing about like ethnical values. You know, and in all honesty, I hope that the new cartoon does this. By the way, to those of you who don't know, or you just missed the video where I talked about this, the new cartoon is going to be airing on Nickelodeon on September 10th. It is a Friday. It is actually the second Friday of the month. The first Friday being this coming Labor Day weekend. Got the 250 coins this time. And I hope that sometime during their run of the new one by Dupuis, that we touch on this episode, on this little thing about social acceptance and ethnical equality. You know, I don't think that Veronique will actually get that deep into issues like that, but it would be nice to just toss it in the pot, so to speak. This is going to be the last stage of today's episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. Remember, the link to the Smurf shop So hopefully you guys can check out and even buy some of the Smurf merch so I can better entertain all of you with the channel. Link is in the description below. And it will be in the link of everything Smurfy that I post on the channel. The link will be in the description below of everything Smurfy that I post on the channel from here on out. Oh, I actually got that coin. Cool. And just for the sake of and just for the sake of Eastern and Western audiences, I have two variations of this art. Well, of this particular shirt that you can acquire. And it's not just shirts, it's also on tote bags and art too. You shouldn't be questioned if you're Smurfy inside or not just because of the color of your skin. Everyone is Smurfy inside. So I hope you guys pick up that shirt to show that you too are Smurfy inside. Thank you so much for watching. More Smurfs Epic Run is on its way. But for now, I take my goose from the oven because I'm done. Bye-bye, everybody.